Hola, y bienvenidos a Amores Patos. Hi, welcome to Amores Patos. I'm your host, Anna.
And I'm your other host, Faby. This is a podcast where two best friends get together and talk about
Duck facts,
duck lore,
duck hallucinations, and DuckTales. Jesus.
I don't know.
Give me a sec. I'll come up with something funny. Those ducks, huh?
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Do we need to take a stand-up comedy class together?
No. That's basically improv.
We need to do it.
No,
we need to take improv classes.
No, God, the utter shame of just saying I was in an improv class would...
Hey, but we're not white.
We're not, but I think just by association...
You become white.
You become white, just a little bit. By taking an improv class.
Oh, it's even worse. I took an improv class to improve my podcast.
Terrible. We never know how to start these unless I have a funny joke.
Don't. It's season 3, and we don't know how to start.
And I choke every time. I need to write out jokes. I need to just have something ready to go, and I never do. Alright, okay, yes. This is a podcast. We do talk about stuff here. As I said, it is now season... Let me do it. This is now season 3 of our podcast and the show in which we review.
What's the episode title?
This is terrible. Welcome. This is season 3, episode 1. Challenge of the Senior Junior Woodchucks. Finally got it out.
I did not remember the title. I don't know. I can't remember the title of any of these episodes.
No, God, no. I only know them because I have them written down in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, it's the Woodchuck episode, it's the Gyro episode, it's one of the Fenton episodes.
The 00 Duck episode. Just, it's a mess.
Yes,
it's a Daisy episode.
Yes. Yeah, we're terrible with the titles, but... Anyway.
We're terrible podcasters.
We're terrible at our not real jobs.
Yeah.
We don't get paid for this.
No.
No.
Not at all.
No. In fact, I think we somehow probably lose money.
No, we do lose money, and we have to pay to host the podcast.
Right. We do lose money. Anyway,
so if you want to PayPal us money, I'm kidding. No, don't PayPal us money.
If we want to set up a Patreon, if you want to give us some money,
just Venmo me $1.
Please. Alright, this is... let's do this for real. So,
okay.
The story for this episode is by Frank Angonis, Madison Bateman, Colleen Evanson, Christian Magelhays, and Bob Snow. It was written by Frank Angonis and Madison Bateman. The storyboards are by Stephanie Gonzaga, Crystal Uretra, and Brandon Warren. And it was directed by Matthew Humphreys.
Yeah.
Yes. And our watches, we have our Matilda McDuck watch. No. Our Max Goof watch.
No more Maxie the Geek. No more Goof of the Week.
Not yet.
No.
Which I can say with confidence now. And to start off our new season fresh, our Benzini Gasolini watch. And that's a no.
Hey, everybody. I'm here.
Never.
Crushed my dreams.
I gotta do it. You gotta not believe in anything so that you get it.
Well, what's the saying? Keep your expectations low. What's the word?
I don't...
It's a fucking saying. Wait.
Yeah.
expect nothing and be pleasantly surprised. I don't know.
There you go.
Something.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. It is now time for the game show within our podcast. It is now time for Duck or False. Alright, are you ready?
There's no other choice.
No, there isn't, so it doesn't matter if you're ready or not. Alright, so duck or false? There is a female equivalent of the Junior Woodchucks.
Duck.
Damn it, yes. Duck.
Yeah.
I hope that would trip you up, damn it. But yes.
You know what I just did like
What?
maybe 2 hours ago? I read the TV tropes and remembered.
No! Damn it! TV trope. Damn it. But yes, in the comics, in the Carl Barks comics, there is a female equivalent. Because in the comics, the Junior Woodchucks are the equivalent of the Boy Scouts, so it's only boys.
Boo.
Yeah, lame. They're called the Littlest Chickadees. So even the name is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
And their origin, they premiered or whatever, they showed up first in the comic, The Chickadee Challenge. It's a Carl Barks style duck story, which was featured in Walt Disney Comics and Stories, number 161. And this comic was from 1954. And April, May, and June, Daisy Duck's Net nieces are in this group, and they're obviously like a parody of the Girl Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally in the DuckTales comics, Webby would also be a part of these, even though in the 1987 series, the Junior Woodchucks were co-ed. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because Webby was a Junior Woodchuck.
Nice.
So, wonder of wonders, the 1987 series was more inclusive.
For once in its life.
Yes. Oh my god. I feel like I had something else to say about the Junior Woodchucks. Oh yeah, the Boy Scouts suck.
Yeah, they do.
That was what I was going to say. I looked up before we started, like, are the Boy Scouts still homophobic?
Uh-huh.
And the answer is yes.
Oh, of course.
The Girl Scouts are not.
They're chill. I think we had this conversation literally passing by Girl Scout cookies one time.
I think we did. I was a Girl Scout, and like
What?
that shit. You didn't know that?
You didn't tell me that.
Really? No, fuck
No.
yeah, that shit's lit. Like, I learned how to light a match because of the Girl Scouts.
Ooh.
Like, I'm pretty sure we went camping or something. We always sold cookies, and we would win prizes. Based on, because based on the number of cookies, you get certain, tiers of prize. They were good prizes, too.
Yeah.
Like, I won, I remember, specifically, a lockbox I won. Like, it was pretty, and, it had a little key thing, and, nice wooden, a pottery barn type deal. Nice.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
I remember that vividly. And they have Girl Scout cookies. What do the Boy Scouts have? Popcorn
They
or
don't
some
have
shit?
anything. Is it?
I
don't
think
even know.
popcorn's their shit, but boo. Lame.
My only run-in with the Boy Scouts or anything was I used to go dance at a park, and sometimes we would use their quarters as a changing room for performances, for Cinco de Mayo and everything. That's all I know about the Boy Scouts.
I must have seen them maybe sometimes at some point selling popcorn. I can't remember why I know there's a popcorn. But they do. That's their thing. But obviously, it's whatever. It's the Girl Scouts have cookies.
Yeah. Even,
and they're
chocolate
rad.
is better. Yeah, and they're cool.
They're rad.
They're actually cool people.
They're actually cool. They need to make the Girl Scouts, just, scouts, so that boys can also join and have, an actually fun experience.
Yeah, honestly.
With nature and, teamwork and inclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
And, what's the word?
Homophobic.
Non-homophobic. Wait. What's the masculinity? Toxic masculinity. None of that shit.
Yeah.
Embrace your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Girl Scouts, like, my vivid memories of it were learning to light a match and getting cool prizes and if they're selling cookies.
Nice.
And just fun times all around.
Okay, this has been a sponsorship by the Girl Scouts. No, I'm kidding.
It's cool
I'm
shit.
glad
I have only good memories.
That's good.
Right, the episode. I got lost.
That's what we do here. You got lost in the Girl Scouts.
I got lost in my tangent about how much the Boy Scouts suck. But so we open up at the Junior Woodchuck cabin, and it is a graduation ceremony.
Mm,
and
cute.
It is very cute. We have a very diverse array of woodchucks.
Yeah.
In terms of species, race, and gender. There we go. That's the other one.
It must be nice to just completely forget about gender.
Completely forgot about gender. Like we have a, is it a pig child or a dog child in a wheelchair?
Trying to pause it so I can see.
Yeah. I have an Asian kid. Doofus.
Yeah, Doofus. I have a kid with pink hair. That's just like, ooh.
Boyd, and Doofus being a Junior Woodchuck is a reference to obviously 1987. And maybe the fact that they're introducing him to normal child things.
Yeah.
He's
finally going to be normal.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
And you see that the woodchuck cabin they're in is based, almost exactly off the Camp Woodchuck place in Tokyo Disney.
Which I didn't know was a thing.
You didn't?
And now, I want to go there even more.
Oh my
now.
goodness, it's a whole thing. The Junior Woodchuck outfits they're all wearing are from Tokyo Disney. The cabin is from Tokyo Disney. We'll see some other stuff is literally the design, even to the grill over the fireplace, is exactly like the stuff in Tokyo Disney.
And I miss Disneyland.
I miss Disneyland very much. And this really made me want to go to Tokyo Disney. I really want to go to Tokyo Disney. I just want to go to Japan, because that seems like a really radical place to visit.
Yeah.
But also Tokyo Disney looks freaking amazing.
It does.
And
I've watched plenty of vlog videos.
Yes. Yeah, so it's almost exactly like the Camp Woodchuck cabin in the park.
Amazing. One day we'll be there. One day.
One day. And we see that, so Huey is here, and we have Launchpad as the troop leader.
Yeah. And he's talking or reading off a speech about how, he's talking about legacy, passing the torch to a new generation. And he's saying that, knowledge is a mix of the new and the old. He's like, and it's into a gumbo called tomorrow. And then
yes.
you see all the kids, and they're like, and you guys are the gumbo. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah, he's reading off note cards that Huey very obviously wrote for him.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cute. We have, all the families watching Scrooge, the other children, Louie, Dewey, Webby, and we have Della in her Junior Woodchuck outfit, which I thought was cute.
That's really cute.
And Donald, his party foul fanny pack, making a reappearance.
I want that fanny pack.
It's really good. And he's taking pictures.
Yes, he's really, just going at it. And Launchpad talks about how, welcome to the Calisoda Woodchuck graduation. And then Della, is yelling about how the legacy is alive.
Yes. And we see that there is a mosquito starting to bother Donald, because Webby starts to ask Della why Donald isn't in his Junior Woodchuck uniform.
Mm-hmm. And Della has to be like, sadly Donald was kicked out of the Woodchucks and then Donald, struggles, and he, gets tangled in, the, what's it called? The lanyard?
The camera strap.
Yeah, the camera strap. And he falls, and she's like, oh, he just has a bad attitude about nature.
Yeah, because she's trying to bat at the mosquito that's bugging him. So, I guess that's fair.
Yeah. Poor Donald. I mean, I feel like I doubt he wanted to be there. In the first place.
It's like, get me out of here. Jesus. Which is also me. Like, the Girl Scouts are fun, but I hate nature.
When did you get out, then? Like, were you there for a couple years?
Yeah, I was there for a couple years.
Okay.
We did go camping, but that was before I hated it.
I don't know. I've never been camping, so I wouldn't know.
There's bugs and dirt and no showers. Unless you go to a fancy place. That's probably actually why I didn't hate it, because it was like cabins and there were showers.
Okay.
That's probably why I didn't hate it.
Reflect on your childhood, Anna.
And is this where the grape jelly stain thing is?
Oh, yes, because Launchpad is continuing his speech.
Oh, right, Isabella Finch.
Yeah. And he starts to say things. He's like, these woodchucks. And he reads out, gesture to the stage.
Yeah.
He's like, are a part of tradition, excellence, like the legendary explorer Isabella Finch. And he reads out, point at portrait, and then he does it.
Yes.
And he's all like, Launchpad, do not read these parts. Grape jelly stain.
Yeah, so there's a grape jelly stain on his note cards, which I noticed.
Yes.
Because that is almost a direct line from Darkwing Duck. From the pilot, Darkly Dawns the Duck. It's a recurring joke in that episode where a picture of Gosalyn and her grandfather has a grape jelly stain on it, which I thought was interesting that they brought it up here, considering Launchpad is obviously very integral to Darkwing Duck.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Hannigan here claims to have known your grandfather.
You knew Grandpa?
Sure, that's me in the background.
Actually, it looks like a grape jelly stain.
I got literally weirdly emotional about a grape jelly stain. That's how my life is.
I mean, it's fair. Oh no. Just wait until Gosalyn actually shows up.
I will immediately burst into tears.
Oh, yeah.
I cried through a lot of Double O Duck. I will cry through all of the Goslings.
Oh yeah. It's gonna get to me. No, this episode they're actually planning on introducing Gosalyn here.
Really?
Yeah. I think in the Frank Angonis, I think, was talking about it on Twitter that originally she was going to be Huey's woodchuck rival, who kept all of her badges in a plastic shopping bag.
Yeah.
But obviously they're like, now we gotta give her, her own.
Yeah. Can't wait. God knows when that'll be.
Who knows? But so Launchpad is talking about Isabella Finch. We learn a bit more about in a bit, but she was, we'll see, the co-founder of the Junior Woodchucks.
And so the names of these things made me laugh. The junior Woodchucks are becoming Junior Woodchucks. The Junior Woodchucks are becoming Junior Woodchucks, and then they are becoming Senior Woodchucks. And
yes, and we see that Launchpad says that only one will advance to the Senior Woodchuck level.
Huey's mouthing the words as Launchpad is saying that he's proud to announce a star candidate who is a close personal friend to him. And Huey does that thing that's a trope in a lot of movies and shows where he steps forward to receive his award.
Yes.
And it's Violet.
You see, it's a little bit late because she was helping an elderly person cross the street.
Oh my god, we love her.
Yes. And we see she shows up with her two dads, who will...
Yes.
Her two dads are... their names obviously confirmed also by Frank Angonis as Indigo and Ty Saberwing. Mm-hmm. Indigo is the skinnier one, and Ty is the big guy. And we see Lena's with them too, so confirming also that Lena has been adopted. By this family.
Yes, because Lena very proudly, loudly cheers that's her sister from a couple of misters, which I thought was really cute.
It's very cute. She has also little violet flags she's waving.
Yeah.
Aww. And so this obviously confirming that Violet has gay dads, who we did see earlier, and obviously this is the first. Oh God, wait! I can say the acronym. I am bisexual. I know what the acronym is. I've said before that I always butcher it. It's the first LGBTQ couple in DuckTales.
Yeah.
So
That's really nice.
yeah, no, it's super great. And we see a bit better later that they're both wearing "I'm with Dad" shirts
Yeah.
that point to
that's
each
so
other.
cute. Aww.
Yeah, so this is super great, super great. Now, they don't have any lines in this episode, which is a bit of a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, just the fact that they were able to get these characters in the show is, I mean, significant considering, you know, it's Disney and their shareholders and homophobic executives or whoever that controls them, that doesn't allow them to include gay characters.
Yeah. Honestly, like, you know, I follow a lot of the crew and stuff, and you know that a lot of them are, like, pushing for that.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's really much appreciated.
It is for sure. Yeah, so it was really great to see them.
Yeah. It's so good.
This year, I am pleased to announce our star candidate. Congratulations to my close personal friend, Violet Saberwing!
Sorry I'm late. I was helping an elderly woman cross the street. Woo! That's my sister from a couple misters. Thank you.
But yeah, we see that, so Huey didn't even know that Violet was a woodchuck, because he's never seen her at any of the functions.
Mm-hmm. And Violet is, you know, like, I prefer to focus on, like, actually doing, like, woodchuck stuff and not just attending social events.
And we see that she, like, her badge has, like, her sash has, like, hidden layers, and she has way more badges than Huey.
Mm-hmm. He only has, like, the one sash with a couple missing bits.
Yeah, so he starts feeling a little bit nervous.
Yeah. And then, so Launchpad goes to say that there's a second candidate. Dewey's brother.
Dewey's brother!
And I was like, Launchpad, hey!
Launchpad, you gonna do him? You gonna do him dirty like that? Seriously?
Did him so dirty.
Alright. So only one woodchuck can advance to senior woodchuck standing every graduation.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a whole like a competition race thing they have to compete in order to win.
The Junior Woodchuck Wilderness Challenge.
Thank you. I don't have the fancy words.
And there's so many cheers for Violet. Basically, everyone's cheering for
Everyone's
Violet.
cheering. I'm like, wow, you guys. That's exactly what you're not supposed to do. Oh, we didn't say Doofus and Boyd's parents are also here.
Oh, yeah. They're finally allowed to be outside.
Yes, they're still in their maid and butler outfits.
Yeah.
I think because it was confirmed that Doofus burned all their clothes.
Go to Goodwill.
Yeah, why they haven't gone shopping, I don't know.
Oh, God. But yeah.
Yeah, so Huey's feeling nervous.
Oh, yeah. Poor boy. I mean, I would be so bummed out if everyone else but my family's cheering for someone else.
And we see it in the intro. The intro is a little bit shortened, but even there we see that Della has been added to the intro.
Yeah, which is really nice.
Super, super nice.
I love it.
And we see, wait, let me get this real quick. At about 2:40, minute 2:40, Owen mentioned that the cabin is lined with portraits besides Isabella Finch's.
Yes.
And there is a portrait on the far right of Clinton Coote, who I mentioned in the Golden Armory of Cornelius Coote episode, who is the son of Cornelius Coote and the founder of the Junior Woodchucks.
Yes.
And here in this iteration, we see that he and Isabella Finch are co-founders.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fun.
You know what was funny about this? That when we did that episode, I think it was a couple days later that we got confirmation about the summary for this episode.
Yes.
And we were like, wow, if for any reason any of the, showrunners listen to the podcast, they're like, these dumbasses don't even know it's coming.
Yeah, so we thought that this episode would feature the stuff that we brought up, the tome of the Library of Alexandria or the first Junior Woodchuck guidebook.
Yeah.
But no, so.
Nah.
I mean, they did bring Junior Woodchuck stuff in, so I guess we were on that.
Some of it.
Yeah. We got our finger on the pulse.
I don't know who that other guy is, the dog.
No, he's nobody.
Yeah, it's just like his launchpad was standing right there. I was like, he has a really interesting design. Big old mustache.
And so we see that the graduation ceremony has ended, and all the other families are filing out. Della's trying to
untangle Donald.
Yeah, trying to untangle Donald from the camera strap he got all tangled up in. And like we said, around minute 240, we do see that the portrait of Clinton Coot, and he looks cute. It's a really cute design we have for him.
Yeah.
And
trying to get a closer look.
Yeah, we don't
we don't.
No, but you can see it pretty clearly around 247. And so, that's cute. So we get like a minor acknowledgement. Though I still think it's wild that the show hasn't really acknowledged that they're, let me see, great grandfather helped early, or at least was the co-founder of the Junior Woodchucks.
Yeah.
So it kind of boggles my mind they haven't gotten into that.
I don't understand why.
Especially considering the show's whole thing with legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And it could tie into why Huey feels like he has to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like in their blood or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Like generations after generations.
But whatever.
We don't run the show.
No, we don't. Obviously. Yeah, so we see Huey's nervous about this competition he has to do against Violet. That's how words work.
And he's like questioning, like, with, you know, like, how did this happen in the first place? Because he didn't know Violet was even a woodchuck.
Yeah.
So he's like, and he goes on to say, like, if he's not the best woodchuck, then, like, who is he? And Webby is, like, comforting him. He's like, oh, you know, like, you're still a great junior woodchuck. And then she has to, like, turn to face Violet and be like, oh, you're great, too. Then she turns back to, like, comfort Huey again. He's like, you're gonna win this, easy. And then she turns again, and she's like, he just needs a lot of encouragement right now.
But yeah, so Huey's like, okay, he's like, no, I got this. Me and, like, my trusty Junior Woodchuck guidebook. And Launchpad comes in, just yoink! Because no guidebooks allowed on the competition.
Yeah. And he is not happy about that.
Yeah, Huey feels like he needs that to win. So we see that Louie actually comforts Huey.
Because Dewey tried, but he failed.
Because I thought it was a nice change, especially from the first episode of Season 2, The Most Dangerous Game Night, where Louie doesn't really take Huey's anxieties seriously and kind of actually manipulates them.
Yeah.
To his own advantage.
Oh, gosh. Mm-hmm.
And so, so it was nice to actually see him give him genuine encouragement.
Yeah, because he goes on to say, like, you don't need the guidebook to win, you know? You can just get out there and show the other nerds who's king nerd. And he does seem to oh my god, I can't freaking words. He does seem to get encouraged.
Yeah. So he follows Violet out, and we see Lena's cheering Violet on. So it's really sweet. Lena and Violet's relationships, very much, also very sisterly. And Lena being very encouraging.
I love that. She's so, like, just out there, like, loud and
very encouraging big sister.
I love that. I'm so happy for her.
Oh yeah, oh my god, entirely. Finally confirmation of where she's been. That she's been adopted. She's no longer homeless.
She's in a warm, loving home now.
That's
thank God.
Yeah.
Who needs a big book of rules? Am I right?
Huey needs a book of rules.
I think what Dewey is trying to say is that you were born for this. Now get out there and show the other nerds that you are King Nerd.
And so while they all file out, we see Scrooge and the rest of the family still staying inside. And Scrooge, you see, is looking up particularly at the portrait of Isabella Finch. And he notices, because in the portrait, Finch is holding like a parchment map-looking thing. And he notices that it's not quite part of the portrait. That it's like an actual piece of paper.
And he kind of goes to, like, reach for it, but he gets interrupted by Dewey, who asks him, like, who's, the woman in the portrait.
Obviously, Della knows. As a Junior Woodchuck. How it's Isabella Finch, the founder of the Junior Woodchucks. And we see Scrooge actually knows a lot about her.
Yeah. It was really cute.
I love this. Oh, my goodness. She starts telling me another story about when he was a poor kid in Scotland. It's actually very, very sweet though, because we see we get a flashback to a young Scrooge with that portrait kind of flashback style they do for him.
Yeah, it's really cute because even Louis counts us down to the story of Scrooge as a young lad, as he's saying.
As he climbs on top of the fireplace.
Oh.
Sorry, yeah. He climbs on top to be up next to the portrait.
Ooh, who's this lady?
Isabella Finch.
Adventurer? Chief of Woodchuck Exploration? Chronicler of the Unknown?
She was a legend to me growing up.
Q story about Scrooge as a lad in 3, 2, and...
When I was a lad.
Because we see that he's talking about when he was a kid, he couldn't afford really anything, but also particularly any adventure stories. And the one pulp adventure book he was able to get was a story about Isabella Finch's adventures.
Yeah, and he still has it because we see him take it out of his pocket.
Yes, he still has it.
And it's like this nice thick book of adventures, and then we transition to the little cute portraits that they do.
And I did really like this because we see obviously a young Scrooge reading this in his home back in Scotland in Glasgow, and we see obviously he's sharing a room with his parents, and we do see Fergus and Downey in the background asleep. And
it's really
super
cute.
I really liked seeing them again. So young Scrooge could only afford this one adventure book. And obviously this is when he was still a kid. He was still living in Scotland with his parents before he ventured out to America to, find his fortune or, begin the process of doing that.
Yeah.
And so we see the one book he could afford, and he chose one of the collected adventures of Isabella Finch. And I mean, he idolized her, because
we see him it's like a one shot, the candle's still burning pretty tall, and it just he burns it down because he's been reading the whole night.
This is the one book he has. He must have read it over and over and over. And the adventures that Finch went on are a lot like the adventures Scrooge goes on now. Mm-hmm. And so it's really cool to see the fact that he looked up to her, and the fact that a male character looking up to a female character, it's not a joke or anything. He idolized her, and he basically became her.
And especially a character like Scrooge McDuck, she was his idol. And it's so cute, because we see that she went to, she bested the fever beast of Tibet, and then she swatted Swiss Swarmy of Micronesia, which I was like, are those bee people?
I think they're bee monsters. Because they don't have the human eyes. They have bug animal eyes.
Okay.
So,
because for a moment I was concerned.
I think they're monsters, yeah. Because they have weapons and shit, but they're not people.
Yeah, that made me feel a lot better.
Yeah, you're good. But so oh my god, so it's super great. It's you're just saying, so a male character like Scrooge having looked up to a female character, but almost his whole life. Mm-hmm. And I mean the fact that she was obviously radical.
Yeah, she's a badass. Also, I just noticed that Scrooge is wearing as a kid the same color clothing as he wears now. The red and the little black. I'm like, aw, it's his favorite outfit.
It's his signature color. And so we say how this woman deserves their utmost respect, and then he defaces her portrait, or he appears to
immediately, because he's looking up at her all with admiration and everything, and he just rips it, and everyone they're like, well, no,
dude, what the hell? But not. He removed the piece of paper he noticed that wasn't part of the actual portrait. Mm-hmm. And it's actually a map, we see.
And I love Della. She's like, oh, a twist! And so Scrooge goes on to say that here on the Woodchuck Island, which I didn't even know was a thing.
So they throw a couple things at us really quick. So the fact that not only is Woodchuck headquarters, basically, the main Woodchuck cabin, is on what is apparently an entire island devoted to the Junior Woodchucks.
Yeah.
And this island, we'll see, is not quite normal.
No, it's the Hunger Games island.
It's the Hunger Games personified.
Yeah, it has a volcano on it.
Yeah.
So Scrooge is giving a speech about how Finch hid the greatest treasure, and she hid it surrounded by like the deadliest obstacles that she came face to face with,
and that she brought to the island with her. That she the deadliest stuff she faced, she brought back to the island to protect whatever this treasure was.
Mm-hmm. And so he's like talking about how like her greatest adventure is going to become their greatest adventure. But as this is going on, there's a bird making very loud noises outside in the window. It's singing, yeah. It's a very catchy song.
But it's interrupting Scrooge, and so Scrooge looks at it through the. We see it in shadow. He looks and yells at the bird like, "Yo, shut the hell up! I'm giving a speech."
He's like, "I'm speechifying,"
and the bird stops. It like slowly drops out of sight.
So yeah, he says, he's like, "Where was I?" He was like, "Oh yeah, like hear the song of adventure calling to you," and then Dewey responds by singing the little bird song.
Little ditty.
And Scrooge just glares at him.
Her greatest adventure will become our greatest adventure. Who knows what the treasure could be? The ruby of Rangoon, the golden bullion of Gorion, the... Oi, do you mind? I'm speechifying! That's better. Where was I? Ah, yes. Listen to the song of adventure calling you. What? It's so catchy.
And so we see Scrooge has his own adventure he wants to go on.
Yeah.
But everyone goes outside to basically see Huey and Violet off, because they're going to start their competition. And we see Launchpad explaining the rules, so each of them is going to have like little colored flags. So Violet has purple, Huey has red, and when they get to each checkpoint, they put their flag inside the wooden pole, serving as the checkpoint. And whoever gets to the end of the course, I guess, or the end of the island or whatever, wins.
It's the highest peak.
Thank you. I did not take notes verbatim.
I did. My hand hurts.
And we see Launchpad points to this, like, what looks like a mountain. And before that, at the base, like, right in front of them, there's, one of those, like you said, like, in kind of like in Disneyland, like, or actually not anywhere, like the signs that point to various locations on Earth, basically. Like,
yeah,
I love those. Like, I think it was in Norway we saw one of those.
It was.
Yeah, and it was like, because we went up, I forget where we went, but like up mountains. And it's like, there was like signs for like Los Angeles and like Paris, New York. So that was great. Fun. And on this sign, we have Duckburg, St. Canard, Garbabble, which we haven't seen yet in this show. It's from the 1987 episode, Sphinx for the Memories. It is a wildly racist episode, of course.
Yes, it is.
But Garbabble is the basically hidden Egyptian city that's featured there. So that's interesting. I'm not sure if we're going to see Garbabble, but that's a fun little Easter egg no matter what.
Yeah.
We see Monocro.
I love that.
That was mentioned, I think, in the last Crash of the Sun Chaser.
Yes.
And we have Gumption, which obviously we know from Outlaw Scrooge McDuck, which I'm surprised still potentially exists.
Yeah.
Which is fun. We have Paropisco, which was mentioned in the Sky Pirates episode. Mm-hmm. We have Carnivora, which is the Brazilian town from the town where everyone was nice.
That's what that is.
We have Tokyo, which is a very good pun that I love, which we're going to see in the Astro Boyd episode. And we have Macaw, which is from what's the fucking gander episode? House of the Lucky Gander.
It's been so long.
It's been a while. But that was fun. And obviously seeing St. Canard got my attention.
I always get happy for Senior.
Yeah, whenever it's mentioned, I'm like, ooh, all right.
I know
Yes,
that place.
one step closer to Darkwing.
So Huey, like, talking to himself, he's like, I was born ready. You know, he, like, tightens his little backpack and everything. And Violet responds to him. He's like, well, if you're as prepared as a newborn child, then, you know, I'm gonna beat you really easily. And she's like, I'm sorry, like, Lena told me that friendly smack talk is the expectation here.
And this Lena say, call him a clown. Clown!
Violet does, clown. And it's probably one of my favorite fucking jokes. It's probably my favorite joke in this episode. It's so call him a clown. Clown!
Yeah, Violet trying to do smack talk is really good.
Yeah, it's really
funny. And we see that they do try to be sportman-like. They try to shake hands, but they were both, like, kind of awkward, so they keep, like, giving the wrong hand to shake.
Yeah. I think they both go for the left, and then it's, like, weird, and then they, like, get startled by Launchpad yelling to go.
It's like, it started, run, go! Oh, so they take different paths.
Yeah, and the rest of the family is going a different way. Yeah, they're going on their
whatever wild adventure Scrooge wants to drag them on.
Yeah. Scrooge can't just, like, sit down.
He's like, I can't just sit and join the other parents and wherever we're supposed to go. He's like, nah, I know my nephew's doing this crazy adventure thing, but I want to do one too.
If he could, he'd be a woodchuck.
Yeah.
Like, he'd be there.
I would have loved that shit. Can you imagine?
Aww.
I mean, I'm sad.
Damn.
He would have loved that shit.
He really would. I'm sad too. Sad Scrooge.
Yeah, they probably existed. If the books existed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he had to make money to support his family. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Poor.
Feeling bad for Scrooge now.
Feeling bad for Scrooge. But then I don't, because of how he acts in the rest of this
never mind,
episode. It just makes me laugh. He'd be such a bad sport, to be honest. You come home, you're like, Mom, an old freaking Scrooge is at it again. He won't let anyone win.
He'd be, like, amazing at all of the challenges, but he would just be the shittiest person.
He's not a good sport.
No.
We see that he's not. He lets the power go to his head.
Yeah, he'd be a sore winner and a sore loser. Like, there's no middle ground.
There's no. It'd be terrible. Yeah. And he also throws tantrums, so.
We see that Huey, obviously he doesn't have, like, any of his Junior Woodchuck stuff, but he can still create, like, a compass in order to find his way.
Yeah, he needs to find north up to the mountain, so he makes a little compass out of water.
Science things.
Needle.
He magnetizes a needle and he puts it in the water on a leaf and, whatever. Polarity or something.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know science. I was a Girl Scout only technically.
And I'm technically a science, but I don't.
So he finds the first checkpoint. And he's like, oh shit, I got here first. This is easy. But no. Violet not only got there first, she also wrote, like, a little, like, zag on a note that she left on the checkpoint.
Yeah. She's like, Hubert. I love that she calls him Hubert. He's like, who's in second place and is holding this note? You are. And then from, like, far away, you can see her. She's like, was that good smack? It's like, do you feel razzed?
That was really good.
Good job, Huey. Already in the lead. Hubert, who is in second place and holding this letter? You are? Best wishes, Violet. What the?
Was that good smack? Do you feel appropriately razzed?
So he like crumples up the note and throws it behind him. And then he comes right back to pick it up because he can't litter. So we see Scrooge just dragging the family on to somewhere. Everyone's fine, everyone's chill, except for Donald, who's still dealing with the mosquito.
Yeah, which I relate to.
Yeah.
And Scrooge is kind of talking about, he's just like fanboying, basically. Yeah. He is fanboying. He's saying how like they're on the exact same path that, you know, Finch took on her last adventure. You know, like, we have to stick to the path that she wrote on her map. And the bird
is following them. We actually see the bird now, like in color.
Mm-hmm.
It's very colorful.
Yes, it's my favorite. It's my favorite colors, to be honest. It's like a bright blue, turquoisey, purple, and pink.
And he's doing his little fun little dance and his song.
We'll add it. I don't want to
It'll be there. I can't remember how it goes. We see that Dewey really gets into it, and to the point where he starts mimicking the bird and like its dance and the song.
Yeah, it's like, because Scrooge is like, what is the bird doing? And Dewey's like, you know, he's giving me the urge to like bust a couple moves, and he does, and they both like do it for a bit, and they're all like watching him.
And they dance like around the family, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's cute." And then gets back, and they both, Dewey and the bird, crash into Scrooge.
And he's not happy, and Louie and Webby like crack up immediately.
We're on the exact path Finch took in her very last adventure. Now, let's stick to her. What is this bird doing here?
Giving me the irresistible urge to bust several moves. Dee-doodly-doodly. Dee-doodly-doodly. Dee-doodly-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Aw, they're both so cute.
All right, don't get distracted. Back to the real adventure.
This is sacred hallowed
Not at all funny.
Sorry, Scrooge is taking this a little bit too seriously.
Oh yeah, he is. He's that person. Which I feel like I'm that person at Disneyland.
Well, nah. Like, I mean, we're on mission, but
yeah. I well, maybe not with you guys, but when I went with my family,
yeah. It's like, y'all, we have to focus. We have to get to Indiana Jones now.
Right now.
Get your shit.
And it's a good thing we did.
Let's go.
And it's a good thing we did, because past 12 we couldn't get on shit.
Yeah. Oh, and I can't imagine going to Disneyland with my family.
Yeah. I only went with kids, so it was fine. With adults, they can't hang.
When I went to Disney World with my dad, half the time I went before him, and I'd be in the park 4 or 5 hours before he got there because he didn't want to get up early.
Oh my god.
So we see that the mosquito is still bugging Donald to the point where he starts running away from it.
Yeah.
And Della chases him, saying, "Just give it some of your blood."
And then the bird also like goes down the same path that they did.
They don't.
Donald and Della.
Yes, they don't go. They're not going down the path that is on Finch's map. Which obviously upsets Scrooge, but everyone just follows Donald, Della, and the bird.
And it's like going through like the cliffside basically, and Scrooge is not happy because that's not Finch's path.
He's kind of bummed.
Yeah, and he just like, is this where he folds the map? Yeah, he folds it and just slowly follows after them as well.
And then we go back to Huey and we hear like thunder noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, a storm is very suddenly, descending upon them.
Like the Hunger Games.
Oh, God. Is that what happened in the Hunger Games? It's been a while.
Yeah, they could just like, they basically choose the weather and everything.
In like a simulated environment.
A dome.
So they just push buttons.
Yeah.
I don't know how Finch brought this weather here.
I don't know.
Yeah, because she brought all these weird shit here to this island. From all her adventures all over the world, she brought it here to this island to protect her treasure. And I'm like, how the fuck did you bring weather? What?
I don't know. Yeah, like, I don't understand either.
Lightning rain.
She just was that powerful. You know? She was like, Rain, do you want to come with me? And it was like, yeah, sure, you're cool. And then that's how it be.
Sentient rain.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's lightning rain. So as it starts to rain, it starts shocking Huey.
Yeah. And he's like, Junior Woodchuck guidebook, Rule 38. When you hear thunder, get under. But then he doesn't want to, because he's like, if I stop, I'm gonna be left behind.
And you'll lose.
Yeah. So he's like, it's fine, I'm just gonna keep going. And that's when it starts to shock
like, oh
him.
shit, wait, it's not normal rain.
No.
And he finds out what a ficus elastica. It's like a rubber plant.
Yes.
And he's like, he's desperate, not thinking straight, kind of just yanking on the plant. And the water of the plant just falls on him and just shocks him some more.
Yeah. And the plant is obviously rubbery, so he can't, pull it off. And Violet runs by with her little, rain contraption.
Yeah.
That's like a little
she made a helmet and shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the rubber plant. And she stops to tell Huey, you have to cut the plant at the base.
And Huey's like, yeah, I knew that. And she's like, okay, then. Eat my dust. Bye. Yeah, because we saw that Huey just straight up steps in a puddle.
And so he's starting to get a little bit burnt, and we see that he... And unlike Violet, who has this very elaborate, cover, he just picks up the plant and just kind of puts it over his head, like the whole branch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's starting to get a little bit more desperate. He's not he's not thinking things through like he might normally.
Yeah, he's very much on panic mode.
Which
it's very much finish fast.
I relate to that.
Yeah. Oh no, Huey.
And
You need to sever the rubber leaf at the base.
Yes, thank you very much. I knew that. Ow!
Very well. Now eat my dust. That was the smack talking.
And we see that Scrooge and the rest of the family are taking cover under this big fallen tree trunk.
And Louie's like, why the hell would it rain lightning? And Huey, oh my god, Scrooge. He's like, this is the lightning rain of Chinpopu. He's like, that Isabella faced 100 days of rain with nothing but grits, determination, and a hat on her head. And Louie's like, she had a hat?
He's so upset about the fact that she had a hat to protect her from this rain.
Scrooge, give the kids your hat.
Yeah, just the Scrooge. And we see a bit of Della trying to convince Donald, hey, look, nature's not so bad, as, water dripping through the log is, shocking her.
Yeah. And she, gets, frustrated and just, gets mad, and she
whacks Donald, and he just collapses. And from, a hole, he stays on the ground. And from, a hole in the tree trunk, the bird popped his head through, upside down.
Yeah.
And Dewey's like, oh, what is my quirky sidekick saying? And he jumps on top of Donald, who is, again, not moving.
It's such a funny image, just Donald face planted on the ground. Della's still kind of, hunched over in her anger, and then the bird's just there.
And we see Dewey follows after the bird. He's like, "Oh, is the bird? Are you sending us on a brand new adventure?"
Mm-hmm.
And
they all go.
And Scrooge,
except for Scrooge.
Scrooge again upset. We're already on an adventure.
Yeah.
We don't need to suddenly go on a different one.
But they all do. We go back to Huey, who is singing a song about how aloe on your ouchies prevents the mean and the grouchies.
It's very cute. It's actually a very cute song.
Yeah.
So he did eventually take cover from the rain. Mm-hmm. And he is putting aloe on his ouchies.
No, but he's still all
he is,
yeah.
He's gonna get just progressively more beat up.
Yeah, and he really destroyed that aloe plant.
He really did. There's just a bunch of pieces of it next to him. But as he climbs out of his little shelter, it's underneath a tree. He realizes that he's lost.
Yeah, and he's like, another woodchuck guidebook rule is to retrace your steps. And he's like, no, if I retrace my steps, I'm just going to get even more behind. So just can't do that.
So
he starts to panic.
He starts to panic, and he's like, okay, he doesn't have his guidebook, so he has to go to the guidebook in his mind for help on what to do because he's lost.
So he's like, manic episodes, mass hallucination, mental breakdowns. And as he's doing this...
As he's going through these very similar and upsetting categories, he summons a sentient Junior Woodchuck guidebook. voiced by
Yes.
Stephen Root.
Whose name I can never remember,
No.
but I always known him as Bill Dotree from King of the Hill.
I know him as Buddy Gleeful from Gravity Falls. And he's also, I believe, in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think he's Boyle's dad.
I've never, seen it, what he looks like.
I'm pretty sure. I'll double check that.
He just has, a very, fun southern
The
voice.
voice is very
a big,
good.
deep
Let me
voice.
see. Yes, yeah, he's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine as Boyle's dad.
Oh, wow.
He's Lynn Boyle.
I need to see what he looks like now. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's how
Yep.
he looks like.
You finally know a face to the voice.
Because my brother and I always play, who's that voice when we're watching things, because I knew who he was, and it was really easy for him to realize who this was.
Yeah, so it's a very fun, southern book, and it's fun how they do, the face. So it's basically, Clippy.
He's the map from
Yes,
Dora.
yes, that's better. Yes.
But he's also Clippy.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
He's not annoying. But he's like Clippy and the book, the Dora map.
The map, yeah.
Oh god, I have the Dora
And
theme song stuck in my head now. Goodness.
I have Huey's Aloe song stuck in my head.
Yeah, so we see that the book appears to him, and Huey slowly turns to look at it like,
What
okay, that's new.
Manic episodes, mass hallucinations, mental breakdowns, moss.
I reckon you're searching for navigational techniques.
This is new.
My name is J.W. Guidebook, the Junior Woodchuck Guidebook in your mind. I'm here to help you out, teach you a thing or two about nature and yourself.
And he's like, I am the Junior Woodchuck Guidebook in your mind.
He's a J.W. Guidebook, I think, is his name.
Yes, yeah. I couldn't tell if that was an acronym I wrote or what he said. Oh my goodness.
That's his name. But so we see, so the guidebook does help him. It reminds him, if you're lost, plant a stick and then the shadow will point you north.
Yes.
You follow, the sun. I forgot.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know anything. But I love that he tells him that he's going to teach him about nature and yourself. And Huey's like, sure.
But as we see, as Huey, finds out which way to go, the shadow of a ginormous bear, appears over them. A fun-looking bear, he's huge. He looks kind of like a hyena, almost. Like a mix of a bear and a hyena.
Well, I guess he's a cryptid. I didn't know that.
A real one?
I think he is. Because we later learned that he's a Nandi bear. And I think that I read
Googling.
that yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's an actual thing.
He is. Yeah, so he's supposed to be like a cross of a bear and a hyena. That's why he looks like that. And he is...
Yeah, it's an unconfirmed animal reported to live in East Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Because I remember we were watching it together and I was like, that very much looks like a hyena, but it is a bear. Because they keep calling it a bear.
Yeah, it takes its name from the Nandi people who live in Western Kenya.
Ooh.
And I'm guessing it really is supposed to be this massive. So that is terrifying, and I hate that.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm looking at pictures now.
Yeah, don't do that. It's very scary looking.
Cryptids interest me, but they also frighten me. Like the Fresno, what are they called?
The what?
Hold up. There's a Fresno cryptid.
In Fresno?
Yeah, in Fresno. The Fresno night crawlers.
What the hell
is
that?
They look like pants.
Excuse?
They look like pants.
I was
they
imagining
look like white
one
pants.
of the X-Men.
They just look like white pants. They look like white hammer pants. But they'd be in Fresno.
What? Oh my god. Sure. Sure they are.
Let's drive down to Fresno.
And just sit in a parked car at night. Actually, no, that sounds terrible. It's terrible for other reasons.
I just...
Okay, so the Nandi bear appears. And the guidebook tells Huey at first to, you know, make yourself big and threatening when you see a bear. But and maybe this would work on a normal bear, but the Nandi bear, when it stands on its hind legs, is like 20 feet tall.
Yeah, and
so, he's not scared.
He's, you know, as Huey and the book are running away, because obviously, I love the oh my god, I can't say JW guidebook, whatever. He's like, skedaddle boy, that bear don't care for no book learning.
The voice is really good. I really like the voice for the guidebook.
Same. Also, just the thought that Huey thinks this is what the guidebook is.
I know, it's like this old Southern man. It's the guidebook. Like a very friendly, like, guidebook. It's fun.
Just you and nature and...
Well, that is a pickle of a different color. Stay calm, remember your training, make yourself big and intimidating.
The guidebook will list just straight out, like, lines from the book, from Huey's memory, that aren't, like, answers exactly. Because they get to this massive tree. What's the sycamore, I guess? An extreme sycamore tree.
Just huge.
They get to the tree and Huey's like, oh, fuck, what now? And the book says, like, if a bear you spy, like, hide your food up high or something.
Yeah, because Huey's like, I don't have food. He's like, oh wait, I am the food in this situation.
So he gets rope out of his bag and, like, climbs up into the tree. And, you know, narrowly avoiding the bear, because the bear starts to climb after him, though, it can't reach him, because it loses, like, you know, grabbing points.
Yeah. And so he's like, the book says, like, that's, real senior woodchuck thinking.
But we see, Violet had the same idea.
Because Huey starts to talk about how, you know, like, let's see Violet pull this off, because you can kind of see the next checkpoint at, like, it's like next to a mountain?
Yeah, it's like a... So this giant tree's basically at the... Maybe about midway up this mountain they're supposed to get to.
Yeah. And, yeah, Violet is there.
She's right there,
as well.
And she starts to... You know, starts to grab onto the next branch when it breaks under her. And she falls.
Yeah, because she's doing a little bit more smack-talking and just completely falls. She hits another, like, point which falling down, but then she, like, manages to land on a steady branch.
And we see the bear's still underneath her, but there's a beehive hanging off of this branch.
So she very quickly, because the bear is going up, so she very quickly cuts the hive with a knife, which I was like, oh my god,
she was like a pocket knife. I'm like, oh shit.
Knife.
Knives.
And it just, like, falls completely on the bear. And
bear gets real badly stung, like in the Animal Crossings. And, you know, real life.
Yeah, it happens in real life, too.
And the bear runs away. It's being stung by bees. And we see that, but now Violet is left without any climbing points.
And, kind of related, but... There's a SpongeBob game this reminds me of. Well, I'll never be able to forget. Like, just a giant tree with, like, landing points. There was, like, an old game. I had it for my Game Boy. Where, like, the second level was getting SpongeBob. Who was, like, he would dry up as he went up. So you had to, like, land on these little, like, tubs of water. Okay. And you had to keep going up and up and up and up until you got to, like, the very top. And then you had to, like, go down through the inside of the tree. But I could never beat the game. And I never got past level 2. I never did.
I'm sorry.
And neither did my brother. And literally we were watching this episode together and he's like, that reminds me of that so much. And I'm like, and the regret of never passing that game.
Maybe you can find a gameplay of it. You can see what happened afterwards.
God. Exactly. I never got anywhere. Because I would just, like, it's, like, the little landing points were so, like, precise that you would just, like, completely fall.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And it was so frustrating.
I'm sorry.
And I was just rip. But, yeah.
But, so Violet's stuck. And we see the guidebook starts offering Huey options. You could lower your rope to help her up, or, you know, they can knit her a net out of peat moss.
Yeah, helpful things.
But Huey is desperate to win. And he starts cutting corners in terms of morality and actually following the Junior Woodchuck guidebook in favor of winning. In favor of winning.
Because he starts to basically, like, rationalize that if he wins, there's going to be people at the end of, that can help get Violet down from this tree. Yes. And so, he's going to do them both a favor. He'll win and he'll help Violet out. Yeah. And he just goes for it.
The guidebook's like, I guess you can do that.
Yeah. And it's like, yikes, Huey.
It's like, clearly not the right choice.
Yeah, exactly.
So Huey does that. He leaves Violet behind and swings on the rope and gets to the mountain. And to the checkpoint.
And Violet's all like, oh, she's like, Hubert, wait, oh no, is it because of all my smack talk?
Me, Rule 17. A woodchuck looks out for their fellow woodchucks, whatever the cost. You could toss down a rope, or weave a cushy net out of peat moss, or...
I bet if I make it to the final checkpoint first, there'll be someone there who can help. I could win the challenge and look out for my competitor.
I suppose there's no rule against it, but...
Be right back!
Hey, where are you going?
Hubert, wait! Was it because of my rising? Curse my flawless slams.
Before she can get too discouraged, she sees a woodpecker next to her, and she's like, oh, okay. And so she uses the holes that the woodpecker is making to climb.
Yeah.
And to get to the checkpoint.
And Huey sees that it's happening. And he panics and he runs off, and Violet mentions that it's like rule 2, respect nature, and nature will respect you.
It's pretty fair.
Yeah, because then we go back to the family.
Yeah, and so they followed this bird, the bird, through this giant tree trunk, I guess, out, and it was hollow, and so they come upon basically, it's like the entrance of a cave, and it's like at the base of this giant tree. That's the entrance.
Yeah, it's huge. And Della sees, like the entrance, and she like picks up a stick that comes up to her leg, and she's like,
like nature provides. I think.
Yeah, nature provides. She's like, once again, nature provides. So she can make like a torch with it, basically. No, I was gonna say Scrooge is still not happy.
No, because they're way off of the path that Finch laid out.
And he's like, if we turn back now, we can still go through Devil's Teeth in the eternal quicksand, is what he says, to slay the Phoenix Guard. I'm like, what the hell?
What the hell is this? He's just listing a bunch of, like, crazy, dangerous shit.
And he's upset that he doesn't get to do it.
and he decides to turn around. He's going to go off on his own. But the bird stops him.
Yeah.
Probably to protect him and to warn him about the giant monster bear that's coming straight at them.
And the bear is not happy. It's stung. It doesn't like
people. No, it's been stung a lot by bees, and it's mad. But Scrooge recognizes it immediately. And he's like so excited to see it. He's like, oh my god, you guys, it's the Nandy bear. And he shows them the picture from Finch's stories, because she brought it here. And it's in the picture, it's the bear holding a dead duck to eat it.
Yeah. And I really like this move because the bear goes to like chomp Scrooge's head off. And he just like very like coolly places his cane just to like stop the mouth from closing, and he's just like holding it there.
And here's where I think we really see the scale of it. It's real big.
It's so huge because he's all like, "Don't you want to fight a bear with claws the size of men?"
And they're like, "Nope." And they all turn around and run inside the cave.
Out of my way, you pesky poultry! Is that a Nandy bear from Finch's Cave of the Bear Clan? Don't you want to fight a massive and ferocious bear with claws the size of a man?
No.
But Finch herself fought this beastie! Oh, no, you don't, you avian agitator! Not this again!
And Scrooge is like, "But Finch fought it!" And he's like, not happy. And so the bird, like, takes the map from Scrooge, and he also runs off into the cave.
And the rest of the family, he follows it in, and Scrooge follows it only because it has the map.
Yeah. For no other
reason. And we go back to Huey. He's made it to the top of the mountain, and he's very scraped up.
Yeah. And he's talking about how he's soon to be the senior woodchuck who summits the insummable mount, and he realizes that the top of this mountain is a volcano.
It's a volcano.
Or is full of lava.
Yeah, it's lava. So it's like this. It's like this, like, I don't know, like a circular depression in the top of this mountain. I don't know if it's a volcano, but it's full of lava.
I think it's just like, it's like full of lava.
And in the center,
and there's like
there's a big stone pillar in the center with the last checkpoint.
Yeah. And like connecting to it is like the world's most flimsiest bridge.
It's like the scene from Shrek.
I literally thought about
that just now.
I was like, it's the scene from Shrek, that iconic scene.
Oh, you can't tell me you're afraid of heights.
No, I'm just a little uncomfortable about being on a rickety bridge over a boiling lake of lava.
Come on, donkey, I'm right here beside you, okay? For emotional support, we'll just tackle this thing together one little baby step at a time.
Really?
Really, really.
Okay. That makes me feel so much better.
Just keep moving, and don't look down.
Okay. Look down. Look down. Keep on moving. Don't look down. Don't look down. Keep on moving and don't look down. Shrek! I'm looking down!
I need to rewatch that movie.
Yeah.
It is the scene from Shrek. I can't say the goddamn word.
But yeah, so Huey sees this and he's like, oh, god damn it. Because he's not done.
And, the guidebook is pissed.
Yeah. He's like,
He's like, oh, no pressure, like, sure, you have just abandoned a fellow woodchucker. And, like, but you're about to win, and that's all that matters, right? And he was like,
I don't need this from you right now. I need a way across.
And Huey is just about had it.
He starts to just cross the bridge, and the book goes in front of him to warn him, like, you're supposed to, check all structural integrity of bridges first.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't have time for rules. Yes. Which, I mean, I never expected Huey to say that.
Yeah, I mean, rules are his whole thing. But here we see sacrificing everything that matters to him and makes him to win. Like, he needs this. He can't fail.
Mm-hmm. And so he tells the guy, he asks the guidebook, he's like, are you following me or not? And the guidebook is like, no, where you go, I cannot follow. And it is
very dramatic. Because Huey's no longer following his rules. Mm-hmm. And we see that Violet she's right behind him. And he panics and just runs across the bridge, which, collapses. So it's a wooden bridge
of course.
Over lava. Mm-hmm. A wooden rope bridge, mind.
And it's so bad because we just see him drop. And you're like, that's the end.
There he goes. But now he's fine, more or less.
He catches onto the bridge so he can climb up it, and Violet is helping him.
Violet helps pull him back up. And she tells him, rule whatever, always check structural integrity of bridges.
Yeah, and Huey gets kind of annoyed, so he's like, I know, and he pulls back and he almost falls again.
And so now, Violet does, pull him all the way back up, and now it's a race now. They have the checkpoint, it's right across from them, so they both need to figure out a way to get across this lava pit.
Now Violet very quickly, goes to, the tree, and she's, wrapping branch pieces, and she's, starting to build something. And Huey is so panicked that he just like, doesn't know what to do. He starts to say, like, when you're between a rock and a hard place, he's like, I don't know. He's like, I'm just going to throw this rock, because he tied, like, a stone to a piece of rope, and he just ties it across.
And so
to the checkpoint.
And to create just, like, a tightrope, basically.
A tightrope.
The worst possible plan you could have done to cross a lava moat. Like, the worst.
At first I thought he might, like, hang glide, because that would have been at least faster.
Yeah.
But no, he's
tightroping across this. And
he goes for it.
Like, he does not hesitate. Because he doesn't think about any possibly safer way. Because he just has to do this across, like, now.
Yeah. And we see him that he's, like, visibly... Also, he refers to himself a lot in the first person throughout this episode. But he's third like, person. You know, like... The third person. Oh, I don't know people
First
anymore.
person is I.
First person is I. Yes, the third person.
Yeah, because he's
and he's talking about...
He's maybe reaching his breaking point.
Yes, because he talks about, even though Violet has more badges than Huey's put in the time, and Huey needs to win. He has to be Senior Woodchuck. Yeah. And he's like, his eyes like twitching.
Yeah, we get this pause as like he's in the middle of this lava moat on a tightrope.
She might have more badges, but Huey's put in the time. Huey's gonna be the Senior Woodchuck. Huey has to be the Senior Woodchuck.
So you go back to Scrooge and the family, and Scrooge is like hunting down this bird that stole the map. We see that they're going through these tunnels, and there's stone and spooky looking.
And Scrooge is pissed.
Now he's so mad that he can't alliterate. He says, he's like, stupid bird, dumb bird.
The family keeps going up ahead a little bit from him, and they didn't see which one of like the tunnel, cave entrances,
so
whatever.
There's like 3 separate
that the bird went into.
Splits ahead of them to like 3 or so different ways. So they don't know where the bird is. They don't know where the map is. And Scrooge just throws a tantrum.
Yeah, he's like, we followed this goddamn. I love David Tennant's voice acting. Just God's sake, he really starts to like. He's like, we're missing out on an adventure, and he was like pouting.
He like falls to his knees. He's like, yeah, this isn't the adventure we're supposed to be going on.
Because when he falls on his knees, crying like a child, he's framed by both Dewey and Louie, the actual children,
who were just like,
Oh, because Louie's like, you know, like, I'm terrified and cold, so we are in an adventure. And Dewey's like, yeah, like, it's just a different one, a new one. And yeah, that's when Scrooge is like, but it's not the one we were supposed to be on. And Webby's like, you know, like, adventure isn't about following, like, what has already been done.
Yeah, it's like setting out, like,
it's about
to carve new paths and to make new adventures and to find, you know, the unexpected and the new and all that. And Scrooge is like, well, what dumbass told you that?
And all of them are like, you did. And Scrooge is like, but history.
Then they'll rewrite history.
Yeah.
And this was, I think, probably good for Scrooge, considering he normally is the leader of adventures. Mm-hmm. And here it's taken out of his hands, and that's weird for him.
Yep. Throws a tantrum.
He does. But we see that he allows the adventure to be maybe taken out of his hands. Mm-hmm. Because he starts doing the same dance the bird and Dewey were doing.
Yeah. A little bit with less energy, but he does it.
And with it's very funny with David Tennant's voice acting.
Fantastic. We followed that bird brain through an uncharted cave, and now we are missing out on the adventure!
I'm cold and terrified. Sure feels like an adventure to me.
Or maybe it's just a different adventure. Well, it's not the right one. We're supposed to be following in the footsteps of greatness, following the map.
Adventure isn't about following the same old path. It's about discovering new things and going off the map.
Poppycock. Whoever told you that?
You!
But it's history.
So let's rewrite history.
Dee-doodly-doodly ha-ha, dee-doodly-doodly ha-ha, dee-doo...
He's doing the dance and everything, but then he stops and he's like, oh, never mind. It's not with the point. But it worked. It summons the bird back, or it called the bird back to them.
Mm-hmm. And so they're able to, choose the right entrance. And yeah, it's the new adventure that they're going on. He's like, what you say, like, we follow this crazy bird to an unknown adventure. And it's like, yay!
And back to Huey, having a rough time of it.
Yeah.
As he tries to cross this lava bridge. Lava moat.
He talks about...
His feet are burning,
how he's...
also.
Yes, because... Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yes, it's hot.
It's like, because it's steaming. It's like vapors, basically, that are coming off of the lava.
Yeah, I mean...
And...
The heat from the lava is definitely going to just burn through the rope soon. And his feet are burning, and it's painful for him, and he's not doing so great.
He specifically says that he's never failed.
Yeah.
So he can't fail. He just can't.
Yeah. And we see that Violet swoops by, cool as you please, on a hang glider she made.
Yeah.
And she's using the rising heat from the lava moat to get across. So she's hunky-dory. She's doing great. Meanwhile, Huey is suffering third-degree burns.
He's like, what do I do? Because, she's like going ahead of him, pretty much. She's almost there. And the guidebook reappears.
Huey calls it back to him. And
and he's like... He tries to give him, like, a lesson about how Huey's the only one that can help himself, and he immediately bursts into
because a burst of lava shoots up and hits him, and the book starts to burn. And Huey's like, wait, what's happening? And the book's like, I don't know. Why are you imagining this?
And he dies, because we see him, like, turn to ash.
Burns
and just...
to nothing. He dies screaming.
So funny.
We're watching this, we're like, oh, what the hell? He died.
Oh no.
It's terrible, but it's so good.
I deduce the most effective use of this rising heat is a hang glider. See you at the finish line. Chomp.
What do I do? JW, I need your help.
Well, Huey, the only person who can help you is you. See, the true lesson...
Ah! What is happening?
I don't know! Why are you imagining this?
And didn't someone ask Frank, like, why would Huey imagine that? And the response was, Huey's not good at imagination.
I mean, he's panicking. So obviously his source of comfort also goes down in flames. Like...
Yep.
And we see that, like, right after this, a burst of lava burns through the rope. It singes it completely.
And he manages to, like, jump to the side that's connected to, the, post.
Yeah, but, I mean, but the rope still snaps, so the flame burns through it, and he's gonna hit the lava.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Before he dies once again.
Before he plunges to his untimely doom for a second time.
Yeah. What a day.
Yeah. We see Violet swoops in and saves him. Like, she comes back for him, unlike him when he abandoned her.
Mm-hmm. Because Huey goes, he's like, you could have... And I'm like, what? Let him die?
Huey.
But no, she's like, rule 162. Junior Woodchuck always looks out for each other. And... yeah, like, Huey's actually crying. Because he's like, Violet, you're obviously a much better woodchuck than I am. Mm-hmm. And that just makes me really sad. Yeah, I don't like seeing him cry.
Because we see they land on the platform, and like, he feels like he's not worthy of being a junior woodchuck, because he turned his back on everything that matters to him, and that makes him him, out of this desperation to win.
Yeah, we have this really nice reflection music going on. And yeah, he says, like, he failed the challenge and himself. Because he took an oath to be, the Woodchucks come with all these rules that he's always lived by, and the one chance he got, he, like, threw them all away.
We see that Violet tells him, I failed too. And we see she has a failure badge. And Huey didn't even know there was a failure badge. So this is like a little maybe reflection on how desperate he's been to get everything right the first time.
Yeah. And the failure badge is a person falling off a cliff.
Grim.
But yeah, she tells him, like, that she's tried to qualify to be a senior woodchuck 3 times before this time. You know, it's like, she says, like, failure is logical and it's a natural conclusion. If you're trying things, you're gonna end up failing at something. But she's in, like Rule 7, work harder and make yourself better and try again.
Really, really great to see. I mean, typically kids shows, they don't deal with, like, failure, like you failed, and that's just it. So it was nice to see that failure isn't also not just, like, the end all. Like, everyone fails. You just try again. Sure,
you may have a knack for things, but if you want to try something else, don't be afraid of, like, oh, if I'm not gonna, like, be good at it the first time, then I'm never gonna be good at it. Which maybe is a lesson that I should take into myself a little bit more. But yeah, like, she's very kindly, like, telling him, hey, it's okay. And she even suggests that they both go at the same time. Maybe they can both pass. And he was like, no, like, it's fine, like, I haven't earned it yet. Yeah. Yet.
I broke the rules. I left you behind. I didn't just fail the challenge, I failed my oath. I don't deserve these.
I too have failed before.
Wait, there's a failure badge?
I tried to qualify for Senior Woodchuck 3 times before I was accepted this year. Yes, failure is a logical and natural conclusion of trying something new. Junior Woodchuck rule number 7. Work harder, make yourself better, and try again. Come, let us finish together. Perhaps we can both be Senior Woodchucks.
No, you earned it. I haven't. Yet.
It was nice of Violet to offer, and really good of Huey to turn it down. Because he does have to earn it on his own, not with all his craziness this episode.
Like, she understands that it obviously means a lot to him, but he also knows now that he's a little bit more clear of mind that he really messed up. So Violet goes on to put the last little flag in place, and at first nothing happens.
They're like,
They're kind of
like, I thought that'd be more climactic. All right, but then it is. We see the platform they're on starts to descend into the mountain. Like, the lava's also going down with them.
Yeah.
And Huey panics. He's like, what do we do? Like, you're the Senior Woodchuck now.
He's like, I respond to authority. And he's just, like, holding Violet up, who just, like, pats his head. The little thing.
But did they just come down to, like, this cool, like, underground, like, secret society chamber that's, like, lit with torches, and there's, like, a big pit in the middle, and Launchpad's just there waiting for them, and so are Violet's dads and Lena.
Launchpad? Launchpad?
Hey, I'm Launchpad.
And at that point, the bird guides in the family.
I love that Scrooge and them, like, were determined to go on this whack-ass adventure. If they had just gone with Launchpad, they could have just gotten here no problem. Like, they were supposed to come here.
Exactly.
Like, what? Did they not ask, like, hey, where's this supposed to end so we can meet Huey?
They don't. I feel like even if they hadn't found the map, Scrooge would have still been like, "Hey, let's go like a different direction."
Yeah. So we see that. So the family obviously they think that Huey won, and so they're cheering him on. But he's like, I didn't. I lost.
And the whole family gasp like it's the worst thing that's ever happened.
I think it's more. They're startled because knowing Huey, you'd think he would win. Because this is his thing. And I think maybe he would have won if he hadn't panicked so much and just, made all the bad decisions he made because of his panic.
But I also just love Indy and Ty's faces at the family lake.
Well, see, Della does get mad.
Oh, yeah. She straight up goes to Launchpad and is, basically saying that this whole thing was rigged. That, Huey deserves to win. And she's just, really going at it.
I think it makes sense for Della, because, failure for her has always been bad. Because, failure for her got her stranded on the moon for 10 years. So I guess, her equating failure with it being, the worst possible thing. Whereas we see Huey has learned the lesson that failure isn't bad. Failure means you just learn.
Yeah. So I'd like to see a continuation of that with Della. Yeah. Maybe learning that failure is okay.
And we see Huey very proudly asking to accept his failure badge.
Yeah. And Launchpad's here, have one of mine. Most of his badges are failure badges.
He has a dozen failure badges. But I love that he's very proudly handing one of his to Huey.
Yeah. And Huey very proudly takes it, and he puts it in the little gap that was basically missing. And he marches off really happily before Della Mad Dogs. Yeah. I see you, Launchpad.
And Launchpad obviously does not even process that he's been threatened.
No.
You guys are just in time to see the winner.
Yes! That's my boy!
Actually, I lost.
That can't be right! The challenge was rigged! My boy deserves to win!
No, Mom, I didn't. And that's okay.
Yeah, you lost, because you're
Lena! Shh! Launchpad, I will take my failure badge, please.
Here, take one of mine.
Meanwhile, we see that Violet gets her, her Senior Woodchuck sash.
Yeah.
And her dad's very proud.
Aww.
And we see Lena obviously just comes up and hugs her, and it's all very nice. And then we see the books, the Junior Woodchuck guidebooks, Force Ghost, looking on proudly.
Because Huey learned his lesson.
Before he vanishes.
Oh my goodness.
Was the book actually there? Why was the ghost there? Why did it have a ghost?
Can Huey no longer ever
summon it?
Just imagine the guy.
Dead now. He's dead.
Oh no, Huey. Oh my goodness.
And we see the family's cheering for Violet too, and Scrooge starts saying adventure.
We learned
a lesson.
We learned it in person. Yeah.
And the bird pops up.
What the fuck is he talking about?
The bird pops up holding the map. And it starts, singing in his face. And he's like, oh, will you shut the fuck up? Seriously. Get the fuck out of here. But
he, literally old man threatens it with, the fist a little bit.
But Huey's holy shit. Is that the Tri-Crested Tittertwill of knowledge? And everyone's the who of what, where?
And he's it's the legendary mascot of, of the Woodchuck.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's descended from, what's her name?
Isabella
Finch's
Finch.
personal pet, the original Tittertwill. And this bird is from Camp Woodchuck at Tokyo Disney. It's there. It's a little, it's there.
I trust you.
No, you can look up pictures of him.
And he does a little dance, because I guess what's the side of a wall or something, there's a big metal emblem of the Junior Woodchucks, and he kind of dances and he sticks to it and twists the whole thing.
And we see that it's actually a secret hatch, that the bird was leading them to this.
Yeah. And it opens a secret hatch that you said, and it's just what the hell? Because it looks like a piece of rock.
It does, no, yeah. So I guess I'm not sure if the map Finch left then was a decoy. If the actual
I would say
it takes you to all this deadly ass shit, when really it was in an actual Junior Woodchuck place, but in hiding.
Mm-hmm. I would say the map was a decoy, And maybe, like, the bird is supposed to be the one to guide you to the actual place.
Yeah.
And only the pure of heart will listen to the bird.
And we see that it's a big space that's opened up, but it's full of, like, straw, like a bird nest, which is fun.
Yeah.
But in this big space, all that's there is, like, this small box.
And it's the last treasure of Isabella Finch. And he, like, opens this it's like a small notebook-sized box. Hint, hint.
It's a notebook. It's her last treasure.
It's a notebook.
And Louis immediately, like, it's a book? Boo!
And yeah, it's like a little, like, worn-out leather notebook that has all her, the adventures she had, all the advice she left to the future generations.
But I think specifically it's the adventures she never solved. The mysteries she never solved.
Yes, that as well. Yeah, that as well.
Because both Scrooge and Huey are super, like, psyched to have found this.
Yeah.
And we see some of the things they list are the Stone of What Was, the Fountain of Youth, the Lost Harp of Nirvana, and the Third Eye Diamond. Or just some of a few of the things they list. I mean, finding this book opens up opportunities for a lot more adventures. Because these are mysteries that even this great adventurer never solved. So perfect for these guys.
Yeah. So they're really excited to go on to, like, really epic new adventures.
And it's a very good setup for the rest of the season. Like, here's a whole book of brand new adventures. Perfect.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's do this. But...
Well, Donald now he's been, through the whole scene, he's really been going at it with the mosquito. But now we finally see, like, a close-up of this bug. That's literally a bug.
And it's foul. We see that Gandra is controlling this mosquito, and they've been spying on the family the whole day, and potentially, obviously, a lot longer.
And so Gandra's all like, they found the journal.
It's Gandra and the Buzzards, Scrooge's board of directors, and they turn and they say, well, the race is on now because the ducks have this journal. And presumably they didn't know where this journal was, but they knew of its existence.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what happened.
And now, so it's a race to get these items before Scrooge can.
The ducks found the journal.
Access to the most mysterious relics lost to time.
Then the race is on.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. Oh, fuck. It's also all these other bastards are here too. Black Heron. The Phantom Blot's still in the Funzo costume, which is more unnerving than actually seeing the Phantom Blot.
What's he hiding?
Why is he still in that?
He likes
gross. Gross. I don't like that. But yeah, very good setup for the rest of the season. So we have the family. So I'll set up for this being a Huey season. Set up for a lot more adventures for the family to go on, and now Fowl realizing that the race is on for these artifacts to get them before Scrooge and the family does.
Mm-hmm. And I remember literally screaming.
Yeah, because the foul reveal is at the very end. And you're like, whoa, wait,
whoa.
Yeah, it's just so knowing that they're very clearly keeping a close eye on the family as we saw at the end of Moonvasion.
That was really a good start.
It was good, and I like that it's smaller. They don't go immediately, I don't know, some bonkers adventure. It's they start out small, just like I think season 2 did with the Most Dangerous Game Night, setting up that it was going to be a Louis season, and here obviously setting up it's going to be a Huey season, along with all the other fun stuff I mentioned. And should we get into questions?
Do you have Twitter?
I do. We have a lot of Twitter questions, actually.
Oh god, we also have a lot of time.
Okay, we got a lot of questions this episode. All right, so from Gray of PTA, they said no sarcasm, honestly. When did Huey go from one of the lovable nephews to a psycho who would abandon a child to die on a cliff face so we could get a merit badge? Well, I mean, I don't think... I mean...
You know, we all have our breaking point.
Yeah. Also, Violet wasn't in danger of dying, really. Just being stuck there for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I think...
He put himself in danger of dying.
Yeah, he put himself in way more danger. He more just left her behind.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously she was able to get out of there fairly easily after a few moments. Because she used her brain. She didn't let herself panic.
Yeah.
Unlike Huey, who immediately panicked every single time.
Oh no. Yeah, it's like when he has all the knowledge, obviously, but, you know, the situation just got to him and he wasn't able to access it properly and use it properly.
No. And even when he did, he ignored it. Like when he summoned the Junior Woodchuck guidebook.
Oh no.
And then from Aaron Tarpey, how awesome is the Saberwing family? Do you guys want to... do you guys want to see more of them? We now know that Lena has been adopted. Do you think we'll delve deeper into that this season? I think we do. Obviously,
I do want to see them more. Yes,
I would love to see them more. I don't know if we... Well, I mean, we're going to see more of Lena, obviously, this season. And maybe we'll get Ty and Indy again. Maybe they'll talk. That'd be nice.
Hopefully.
Maybe they'll have some 1 or 2 lines of dialogue. I mean, considering we will get Lena back in some fashion, we probably will delve into her family situation, considering she's no longer with Magica and what her life might look like now. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope so.
Let's see, from Snartled. That's fun. I've always read Huey's dogmatic adherence to structure as something of a neurodivergent thing, like OCD, ASD. I wonder if it was intentional and what your takes on that are. I mean, I think obviously we're not, what's the word, authorities in any fashion on that.
Yeah.
I myself do have anxiety and OCD, so I do relate a lot to Huey in the way that he does think, like his very strict adherence to rules, and in his panic when sticking to rules means bad things in other regards. So here, sticking to rules would mean he loses, which would mean he fails. I think it definitely could be read as Huey being neurodivergent. There's never been any confirmation from what I know from the crew, but I think it definitely could. At least I know I relate to him in that way, in my own anxiety and my own OCD. So, I mean, potentially.
I don't have anything to say. I'm not an authority, so I don't feel I can't words anymore. It's so late.
Do you want to move on to the next question?
Yeah.
Okay. Turtle Duck Dog, what did you think about how this season opener has been different from the others in that Huey does not have a moment with Scrooge like Dewey did in Season 1 or Louie in Season 2? I expected him and Della to connect a bit more than her just wearing the Woodchuck uniform.
I think they did connect, though. I mean, at least I liked for that moment of kind of her not liking that failure as a thing in his life. I like for them to discuss that a bit more, because I was not happy with the way Huey and Della interacted season 2.
I mean, the only thing we really got was them playing Legends of Legend Quest. And as we said, that felt very one-sided. Like, it was Huey stepping out of his comfort zone. Della didn't learn anything from this interaction.
Yeah.
And, I mean, what Huey learned had nothing to do with his relationship with Della. So,
yeah.
I definitely do want, an actual Huey and Della episode. Just for them to actually bond. Because they've had the least interaction.
Yeah. So I'd like for them to that be a point. Sure, I also like Huey interact with Scrooge.
Yeah, but they've interacted a bunch. They get more interaction later.
Yeah.
And there's a bit more from Turtle Duck Dog. I would like to think that Huey's lack of interaction with the adults in his life is an intentional choice for his character that is explored rather than an oversight from the writers. It's just that Della or Scrooge, who have experienced failure, could have had that conversation with Huey, and instead it's had with a peer, which I find interesting and fits well with the story, but doesn't fit what we have seen with the other kids and the adults. I mean, Della and Scrooge both are shit with failure. So, I mean, they'd have to learn that lesson first.
I feel like I think that's going to be the lesson this season.
Yeah.
Because Scrooge threw a tantrum this episode. And he's going to throw a tantrum in the next episodes. So I feel like he's going to lose big time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, yeah. Like he's going to have the rug completely yanked out from under him. He's going to fall down a flight of stairs and crumble at a pile at the bottom, at the foot.
He's going to fall down a flight of stairs like Doofus did. It's going to be great.
I have to put that clip in now.
Of course.
Oh boy, yes, let's get him. It's so exciting. I love it. Oh boy, yeah.
But yes, I think in this episode it wouldn't have fit to have Huey be with Della or Scrooge, since they both need to deal with failure on their own first. As we saw here, Della is shit with failure.
She immediately accuses Launchpad of
rigging the competition because Huey failed, and failure being, in her eyes and definitely Scrooge's, a very negative thing. That it's like, once you fail, you can't come back from this. But obviously not. You pick yourself up and you try again. But for her and for Scrooge, failure has been something very damning. I think Della's learned that more than Scrooge. Because Scrooge is still very, I guess, full of himself. He thinks he hasn't quite accepted that not everything's in his control. And we've seen he has dealt with that in part in like the last Crash of the Sun Chaser. But it's definitely not something he's fully accepted. Yeah. And obviously here we'll see he's failed utterly because his board of directors have been manipulating him behind his back and financing the most evil organization ever under his nose.
Yeah, I'm nodding along furiously. You can't see it, but yes, yeah. And I can't wait for that to come to
slap him in the face. That'll be fun. It fit more for a peer for Violet. To be someone that someone that Huey can relate to on that level, like, and for them to understand failure when they're young, before they get to Della or Scrooge's age, where
it's no longer an option. Because Violet is also read as like, because Huey himself is shocked that like she's failed, because she's a very kind of like organized by the book person as well. But no, she's like, I failed and it's fine. So he needed to learn that from someone that he also...
Yeah, who understands it on the same level as him.
Yeah. I'm like smiling about Scrooge failing.
We want this old man to just fuck up so bad.
Yeah, just bring him down a peg.
Or 5.
Just face plant on the ground.
Can't wait. And then from Sewer Gem. Oh, very nice. Love your show. Thank you. Aww. Not to distract from a long overdue Huey episode, but what do you think about how Launchpad and Della are giving it another point of overlap in their roles with their involvement in the Junior Woodchucks? It's interesting that Launchpad gets to be an authority on this point when it's something he stumbled upon, versus Della's obvious passion for the Woodchucks. Do you think they're meant to parallel what Huey and Violet went through on their Senior Woodchuck trial as a dropped C-plot?
Oh. I hadn't really not thought of that. But yeah.
Because especially at least in regards to something like failure, because, I mean, Launchpad did kind of fall into it. Though I didn't even fucking mention that in 1987, Launchpad was, like, the troop leader.
Yeah.
We see him in, I know at least, Super Do. He's the troop leader, and at least once or twice more, so...
Oh no, the memories are coming back.
Oh my goodness.
Hurry. Show down.
So this Launchpad isn't a rip-off Kronk in Emperor's New Groove. Kronk is a rip-off of Launchpad in DuckTales 1987. We've come full circle.
My acorn is missing.
Squeak, squeakin', squeak, squeakity.
Did you eat the acorn?
Squeaker, squeak, squeak, squeakin'.
You owe me a new acorn.
Squeak, 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 squeakers. Squeakin'.
I'm so proud of you guys.
That movie guided my ideas of romance.
Emperor's New Groove?
Kronk's New Groove.
I'm like, I don't think there's romance in the first one.
No, there's not. That guided my ideas of comedy. Like the meta-ness of that.
Of course.
But yeah.
But anyway, back to the question. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, potentially they could parallel, at least in regards to failure. With Launchpad being fully accepting, obviously, of failure and being proud of it.
Yeah.
While Della has a very negative, obviously, view on failure as a whole.
Mm-hmm. It just kind of makes Della's attitude stand out a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Because, I mean, they don't really interact till the very end. I mean...
No.
I'm not sure. I mean, it could be interesting. Because, I mean, Launchpad does kind of fall into it. Cause I think, he crashed the bus, and all of the other troop leaders quit.
Yeah.
They still haven't hired anyone back. It's just him still.
They haven't.
Yeah, I do wonder if we get more Della and Launchpad interaction. That'll be maybe less antagonistic on Della's side.
Della's just ready to throw hands with him.
Yeah, at all times.
For Launchpad.
All right, and then we have one more question on Twitter from Music Nerd 01. How well do you think the episode set up Huey's arc for the season, compared to how Louis' was set up in the Season 2 premiere?
I think it did it pretty well. Yeah, it also set up Fowl pretty well as well.
I think, like we said, similar to the Season 1 premiere, it started small. We didn't go straight out with, like, a Nirvana or some crazy worldly adventure. Like, we start small, we start with the stakes relatively low for DuckTales, but very, I think, firmly establishing this is going to be Huey's season, and that he's going to be dealing with some stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously setting up with Fowl the fact that maybe Huey and Fowl's storyline will be connected. Maybe somewhere down the line.
Which I'm hoping. I'm very much hoping.
Yeah. I mean, we know that Huey's obviously super into the journal I found of Finch's, all these adventures and all these mysteries. So, I mean, yeah, I think definitely setting up, like, Huey having to deal with failure and the Huey facing challenges that he maybe isn't prepared for.
I couldn't have said it better. No, I mean, yeah, like, I'm just really excited. I mean, though the few episodes we've seen haven't really continued that a lot.
No. But let's hope we get back on track. There's lots of episodes to go. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I think we have some Tumblr questions.
Yes. Okay. Oh, the Humanity says, thoughts on how Scrooge has two inspirational stories he modeled his life on. He's an adventure capitalist, and the number one dime is his inspiration for the capitalist part, and the stories of the Woodchucks founder is his inspiration for the adventure part. Not all businessmen become adventurers, after all. For me, it rounds Scrooge out well, and it's extra cool that one of his foundational inspirations was a woman.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I don't have much to add. That was good.
That was really good. Oh, the Humanity. Thank you for that. I actually hadn't... I got no brain cells yet.
No, I hadn't thought about that either. Like, the dime being his inspiration, like, to get rich and to fend for himself and all that. But, yeah.
Like, work hard.
But, yeah, obviously, Finch being his inspiration for, like, all the adventures that he always dreamed of going on. And that he's able to combine them, essentially.
Yeah. That's great. He's living a dream.
Like, entirely.
I saw anonymous. God.
JW Guidebook.
JW Guidebook says, I saw the question you were asked on Twitter about the lack of scene between Huey and Scrooge, and it made me realize something else I thought the episode lacked. A scene between Huey and Donald. The second half of the first episode of Season 1 ended with the famous mom establishing Dewey's quest for Della. The first season of Season 2 established the link between Louis' arc and Scrooge. I was hoping Donald would be equally relevant to Huey's arc. Do you think it may still happen?
I mean, I hope so, because we always want more Donald, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think that would make sense, since Season 1 was very much Dewey, Scrooge. Season 2 was very Louis and Della. And so, I mean, hopefully this would be a Huey and Donald season, because they would track with the format we've seen.
I'm really hoping.
I mean, I would love that. So, I mean, I do hope that's maybe the format we follow.
Oh, I hope I pronounced this right. Greya Shetz, sorry if I mispronounced that. What do you think of the theming / messaging in this episode? Not many kids' shows actually have one of the main characters learn the lesson of failure. Usually that's relegated to a side character, or even if they lose, the word failure is never used. Personally, I feel like the writers were less clever if they would have been Violet learning the lesson and Huey pulling the win on some grand heroic fashion.
I mean, yeah, 100%. Like, I think we mentioned that.
Yeah, I think we mentioned this, yeah.
I think, yeah, we mentioned that failure on, like, a main character's part isn't really typical for a kid's show. So it was nice to see that Huey, fails utterly and accepts that fact.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've seen it before, like, maybe they do fail, but they still kind of win in a way, like, in the...
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it together. They'll actually take it with them. Like, they'll actually accept the co-win. Yeah. It's, like, it's nice for him to be like, you know what? It's something I'm going to need to work on. We have a similar question. Shibby12, who asks, what do you think of the lesson that Huey learned this episode to accept that he isn't better, and that failure is not the end of his life or identity, and that it's an opportunity for growth, and how do you think it sets up his character arc for the season? Do you think Shark Bomb will join the Junior Woodchucks?
That last one came out of left field. Oh, Jesus. Well, we talked a bit about, like, the whole lesson that Huey learns, and, the fact that there's a huge conspiracy that's, like, right under their noses, I feel like could be something he would definitely get into.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting.
Honestly, yeah, I can't wait for Scrooge to fail and learn this lesson as well.
As for Shark Bomb, yes.
I was gonna say, I was like, isn't Shark Bomb, like, dead?
Globgo did rip his head off.
Exactly.
So he might have killed his own son.
Rest in peace, Shark Bomb. If they dropped, like, an actual, like, Shark Bomb puppet thing, I would buy it.
Jesus Christ, of course.
Of
Look
course.
at that thing.
Oh. Anonymous.
The Nandy Bear.
The Nandy Bear says... Oh, I think I'm going to combine these two anonymous questions. They're very similar.
Oh.
So, give me another anonymous name.
The Tri-Crested Tittertwill.
Oh god, can I just say Tittertwill?
Yes,
I can't words. The Nandy Bear and the Tittertwill basically say, I would like very much to hear your thoughts on Launchpad's vast and proud collection of failure badges. And then the Tittertwill says, I love Launchpad's collection of failure badges. Yet another way of showing that he keeps getting back up and trying again, like a certain hero.
I feel like those both anonymous questions answered each other.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I was reading through the questions earlier, and I was like, I got in my feelings about one of these, and it was that he gets back up and tries again, like a certain hero. I can't wait for him to show up.
I'm so excited for Darkwing. Like, every episode we're like, Darkwing? Not yet? Cool. Mermaids.
So cool.
Yeah. That's cool.
Double O Duck. Cool. See you week. It's fine. But yeah, you guys basically answered each other.
Thank you for that.
And they're like days apart.
Oh wow,
by the way,
okay.
So
all of our question askers are on the
in sync.
Yes.
So, Shiny Wraith says, hey guys, just started listening to this podcast and it's great. Thank you. Anyway, what do you guys want to see from the characters this season? Personally, I'm hoping for more Della and Donald's sibling interactions because the crew did such a good job breathing life again into Della that she's now my favorite character. And I'm both excited and curious to see how the crew will go about further developing these two. Keep up the good work. P.S. I totally agree about there being too much Mickey merch. I need Della merch.
Della merch would be bomb. I can't.
Yes.
That'd be so cool.
Just more DuckTales merch.
Yes.
Disney does their, like, animated shows so
oh my goodness, all of them.
Yeah, I would kill for, like, some Gravity Falls merch.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. And I feel like it would sell well. Like, the show did amazingly.
Mm-hmm. And yet...
Yeah.
But yeah, like, They never released the Launchpad plush.
No, I also wanted that. I wanted
bad.
that Gizmo like action figure so bad.
Yeah,
it's just sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
I remember vividly thinking, I'm gonna get that for Anna as soon as it comes out, and it never did.
Thank you for the thought. I'm sad.
Exactly. Like, I really wanted that Launchpad plush, but it never came out.
Nope. But, the question, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do we want to see?
I think, definitely want to see Della and Donald interaction, because, I mean, it's one thing to, bring Della back. Holy shit. Like, bring her into animation for the first time, make her super awesome. But also, let her interact with Donald. Because they've never interacted together in any form of animation. So, I really hope we get, like, a really solid episode with them. I imagine we will, because it's Della and Donald, like... obviously we had the Christmas episode in season 2, but, like, currently, I want to see them interact.
Mm-hmm. Especially, like my mom says, like, no quito dedo del renglón. Like, I still really want that confrontation of, hey, you leaving, we thought you died, that really messed the family up. Yeah. Scrooge and I were not on good terms.
Yeah, because it still hasn't been established that Della's learned that happened.
Here's to hoping. Yeah. I had given up on Double O Duck completely.
It's true.
So who knows? Your wildest dreams may come true.
And then,
but yeah, I like to see.
And anything else you want to see for the season?
We are getting Gyro, which is something I really want to see.
Oh my goodness. Like, Gyro backstory is something I've really been interested in since we saw him for the first time.
Yeah. And he was one of the first people we saw.
Oh, yeah. Since Dime Chase, they just really established him as a very distinct character, especially from his, obviously, 1987 iteration. And he's very mysterious. I'm very excited to learn why he is the way he is.
Always. I want Launchpad to learn the lesson he's been teaching other people. That he is of importance and that his actions, benefit those around him.
Well, we'll get into more Launchpad in the Double O Duck episode, but...
I cannot wait.
I'm obviously super insanely looking forward to Darkwing. More than anything. Darkwing, Goslin, Launchpad, that whole shebang.
Oh. It's gonna be so good, Anna.
It's gonna be really good.
It's gonna be really good. I'm trying to go down the line of characters. I just discovered that I want to see Scrooge.
We wanted to see Scrooge brought low.
He's really fun at his lowest.
Either really depressing or really funny. So
violently swinging between both of those things.
But I'm just looking forward to season 3. And all the mysteries and surprises.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. From Tuno Dos Tres, what do you think of the fact that Huey, not good at imagination stuff, Duck, was able to imagine a sentient Junior Woodchuck guidebook? Also, when do you think he'll finally snap into the Duke? And Doofus being there, he has the same badges as Boyd. If he's a Junior Woodchuck, like Huey, that means he'll have more chances to appear and be creepy.
Oh, God.
Well, Doofus just existing is creepy enough. Like, just seeing him.
His creation.
But, I imagine, stuff is gonna happen. This being a Huey season, that will make Huey snap. We've seen that he has, like, the duck temper. Mm-hmm. That'll be fun to see fully unleashed.
It's definitely gonna go off. I forgot what else the question said.
No, that was it. I believe that is all for us.
Yeah, you can find us at Twitter at Amores Patos.
Yeah, that's where things are popping.
Mm-hmm.
And make funny tweets.
And it keeps making these hilarious tweets that keep going off.
I don't know. I'm surprisingly funny sometimes. And you can find us on Tumblr at Amores Patos Podcast at tumblr.com. That's where I think we get most of our questions. Also Twitter, obviously, now. And you can also send us questions at whatispothispodcast@gmail.com. And thank Michael at Dystopian Graffiti for our lovely cover art.
Woo!
And yeah, that's all for us. Saludos, amigos.
Saludos, amigos.